Yo, parish orphans and retrogrades. Hope you're having a great Tuesday. Not sipping the scissor up too early in the day today. I have a special show for you with my friend from the Red Top Report, Mr. Joseph Enders. We're going to be doing a little analysis of that video that went so viral last week, why I considered divorcing my husband of 20 years. What's up, Joseph Enders? How are you doing, bro?
What is up? Believe it or not, I think I was on the show once way back in the day. I'm talking like 3-4 years ago. So it's good to be back.
Yeah, good to have you back, though I don't remember you ever being on.
I don't think I went on with you. I think it was way back before that. So.
Okay. Well, everyone's like, nah, we don't care. But I could have sworn I had you on one time last year. Anyway, we're over that. So there's been a ton of stuff in the waves on the net, on the web, recently, the last week, 2 weeks, of feminism is really, really evil, and feminism is way more comprehensive than anyone thought before. And yeah, the case for patriarchy is catching on, but this is inside the Catholic world and outside the Catholic world. We'll talk about a few of those pertinent issues today, but this video that we're going to be talking about went just hyper viral, and it's a terrible, horrible specimen of some dead-eyed suburbanite working wife lady, who's talking about why she nearly divorced her cuck husband. And it's a horror representing a cautionary example, Joe, of really sort of the paradigm instance of why the MGTOW guys and the red pill guys and young guys in general don't want to get married now.
Yeah. You good?
Yeah, I thought I didn't have a stroke. I thought you might want to say something.
No, I mean, I ththought you were going to play the video.
You just go.
No, I thought you were going to play the video. That's funny though. No, so yeah, I mean, what we're looking at, what we're looking at today is a full-on young male assault against feminism. That's what we're seeing. It's literally become on many levels a reactionary societal response to what has been about 120 years of radicalism. And it's as simple as men playing off of their nature. It's like when you're made fun of so many times, eventually it just stops getting to you. And eventually you just start kind of leaning into it. And then as you start leaning into it, you just kind of get worse and worse and worse and worse and more. I mean, I don't mean worse in the evil sense. I mean, worse is in the more and more fed up, where it's just like, you know what? Okay, I guess I'm a misogynist. That's fine. Get back in the kitchen and make me a sandwich. It literally gets to that point with men where they're so fed up with this system of maternal government, this system of no objective truth, no guidance, no discipline, no responsibility. It's frankly only going to get worse as time goes on.
Yeah. I'll give the Randers this one. No, I've been thinking lately. Yeah. I've been thinking lately about that Eminem line. I am whatever you say I am. If I wasn't, why would I say I am? That's right. What happens in this phenomenology you're describing of young men are just pissed off, particularly young Christian men, particularly young white Christian men are like, fuck this. Like, we're out. And we're not only out of dating, which isn't the right response. You're a young guy. You have a family. I am no longer a young guy, but I'm a middle-aged guy who had a family when I was young. Once you find a good one, you realize, oh, that's not the way out. But it is tougher than it used to be to find a good one. And the point is, until those guys find one and they see, oh, it's still possible. It's a perfectly reasonable, albeit, like you said, reactionary response to be like, fine, we're out. Yeah. Like, we are whatever you say we are. And these guys are leaning into saying kind of hilarious, outrageous stuff. I won't even mention some of them because then I'll get in trouble. It's hilarious about crimes and stuff online. And you have this pearl clutching, like crossed-armed Franciscan you, right, like feminist Catholic response. Like, how could
it's like we've
don't you love charity? It's one of the infused virtues, bub. And you're like, just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know, we're over this. We're over this. And young men are angry. And STFU, it is time for the pendulum to swing back. And guess what? It's swinging back, people.
Yeah, and it's not only swinging back, it's swinging back maybe even harder than maybe you or I would like. And you know what? It's like the scene in Joker. You get what you freaking deserve. And, you know, you just point it up. Okay, Murray, you got it here. That's what you've done. You've created an entire generation of jokers. And guess what? They're going to mess with you. They're going to make you uncomfortable. They're going to make it so difficult for you to live your life the way that you thought you were going to live it, that you're going to be forced to conform to the way that they want you to be. That's what they did in the past. And that's what's coming around. Well, what goes around comes around. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's going to be, it's really returning to the law of the jungle. It's really returning to the eye for the eye and the tooth for the tooth on this. It's not going to be merciful. It's not going to be what you wanted. So you better hope, and I mean this, you had better hope that men do decide to go on the side of Christian patriarchy. You better hope that they decide to be responsible leaders that don't use, that don't abuse, that remain faithful and loyal. Because if they don't, you know exactly what's coming down the pike, ladies, and you're going to hate it. So better find a Christian man soon. They're gonna be a hot commodity probably in about 20 years.
The law of the jungle, by which you reference a sex joke, a gender joke, not a race joke, of course, Joe. I'm clarifying for the audience. That's exactly right.
It's like the old El Paso commercials, right? Where it's like, why not both? No, I'm kidding.
Why not both? Yeah, women can pick between my buddy, Dr. Michael J. Robillard, would always say women can pick which patriarchy they want. It's the Christian patriarchy, the real one. It's Islam, or thirdly, it's the horrifying gender dysphoric, like men running around in dresses patriarch, you know, the patriarchy. The one that's really, really beneficial to women and our Lord christened, no pun intended, was the Christian patriarchy. So you're exactly right. They better hope it's the patriarchy. But I want people out there to really hear your opening comment, really let it sink in, that this has been 175 years. Your grandparents, folks, were all feminists. My 90-year-old grandma told me 9 or 10 years ago, she literally told me, like, I could be your boss. I would, you know, you'd have liked me as a boss. So I was saying, no, I don't want any female boss. It's kind of natural. And she said, no, the whole family, you know, at this one dinner table conversation, my little brother wasn't there, that he would have been on my side, but everyone else in the family like turned on me. I was like, no, I'm sick of female bosses. I got a female boss. If I go to teach at a school, I got a female boss. If I go into a landman department, I was a landman and all the landmen were women. The female boss, if you go to a lot of law offices now, I don't want that. And my literally 90-year-old grandma was like, I was a great boss. So people have been lied to when they say, oh yeah, feminism, it's this thing for the last generation or two. It's been the last 175 years. And like you said, Joe, the pendulum is swinging back. I mean, I'm not saying anything you didn't say. I just it bears repeating. I want to say it again. Yeah. It's swinging back, and it's swinging back so hard that it's like, clear the lane, ladies. Ladies are so used to being able to talk a little ish and then stand out of the way. And most of the white knights out there won't throw any back at them, any shade. And whatever small amount of shade comes back at them, they just kind of cry out after they strike someone. It's a very female thing in the post-feminist world. And that's not working anymore. The young men are coming with this crazy incel joker energy at the Karens. And so that's why I thought it would be really fun today. You know, you're a younger guy, young married guy.
I just want to build on something that you just said, just because it was like perfect. Women are learning, and this is good because I love tough love. I'm a dad. I love tough love. That's my favorite kind. And like I revel in the fact that I'm able to facilitate tough love on people. That would include a woman or a man. But in this case with women, we are exposing them to a form of tough love and a reality about their being and a reality about their existence. And it's that every single thing that they do is done with the permission of the men protecting them. They can do nothing. They have no agency to step outside of their front door, if not with the permission of men. There is nothing they can do like that. And that is something about the nature of women that has been so ignored in society. It has been so taken for granted that the second that there's even some people saying some mean words online, like you were just saying, has got them going into a conniption. It's a standard that's slowly revealing itself. When the men don't care anymore and they don't care about protecting you anymore, you welcome to the jungle. There you go, another jungle reference, right? So it's
so many jungle references. And again, make it a sex and a race joke next time. You keep only restricting it to sex. Yeah, that's a great. I think that's the main idea, Joe. Yeah. And I'm like the author of the case for patriarchy. And I think that what you just said is the main idea. Sometimes I've neglected that point. And I've heard Chase, Sovereign Bra make it really nicely. I've heard you say it before, usually in private conversation. I've heard some other people in the manosphere make it. And it's one that, because I'm trying to mind the P's and the Q's of just demonstrating that the patriarchy is truly Christian. It's what's required, both clerically and in the laity. And then I'll make jokes besides, but I forget that point. Anything a woman is doing, stepping outside to go get her mail, is by the permission of a man. Yeah. And it's a de facto truth that can be, you don't want it tested, but women are small and weak, and they're dependent. They're little women, as I said in the last couple streams. That's a virtue for women. They're not supposed to be strong and independent. These ostensible virtues that have been psyoped onto the kind of brain mapping of women. Oh, this is what I should aspire for. It's nonsense. So that's the point. And they've, as such, it's kind of like Hegel's master-slave dialectic in the phenomenology of Geist. They are the ones that are, women have been on top in society over the last several generations.
Quasi, but yeah, exactly. I agree with you.
Because men have been psyoped into letting them be, but that's part of the master-slave dialectic. And normally in the master-slave dialectic, there's a duel to the death between A and B. A prevails, B gets subjugated, thrown under, and made the slave of A. And Hegel says through physical manual labor, over an extended course of time, B and or his descendants become physically strong. A becomes flabby. His victory defeats him. B re-challenges A and becomes the master. Now, of course, Hegelianism is by and large bullshit, but this is one of the aspects that's most fascinated people, particularly those like Alexander Kojev and the left Hegelians who got off here. It doesn't work perfectly with women because they're always weak. They never like won any duel against men. But they used what Nietzsche calls dissimulation. A very Jewish spirit, Nietzsche says the Jews use dissimulation to say, you might be bigger than me, stronger than me. You can dominate me physically, Roman Empire or Babylonian Empire or whatever it is, Persia, Greece, Rome, whatever it is. But ought you to? And that's the kind of Nietzschean dissimulative master-slave dialectic that feminism used, with lots of tricks from those subversive forces that I've mentioned. And in that case, it becomes master-slave dialectic. And this is that inflection point in the dialectic when young, crazy, strong-minded men who are sick of taking it are just like, I'm just going to make crazy jokes online that even you and I might blush about. And that takes quite a bit. And I think it's people are like looking at me, women are like looking at me now with their arms full, like, are you going to condemn this? Are you going to condemn this? It's like, look, man, I mean, they're saying mainly what I've been saying or you've been saying, Joe, maybe a little bit stronger, maybe with a little more tinge of red pill or MGTOW Joker energy. But no, I'm not. This is nature taking its course. This is the pendulum coming back. And anyone who doesn't agree with what I'm saying or what Joe's saying, let's play this video by this crazy, we'll just call her an e-girl. Thought. Why I considered divorcing my husband of almost 20 years. And you're going to, a little bit, anyone listening to it, even Christians, are going to start hating women a little bit.
Can we get a hashtag in chat for that? No.
What? What'd you say?
Can we get a hashtag in chat from all the viewers right now for a hashtag I hate women? No. I'm not trying to get you guys banned. I promise.
Don't hashtag that. That's you guys just to chortle at. Like, oh, Tim, what a devil.
You silly goose.
All right,
It's
so
your fault for inviting me on. Sorry, it's just